Alright, let's do another Football Manager stream, will we? Not that we did not do enough streaming the last few days, but it's Monday, the regular schedule, so I guess we gotta make sure that those happen. Also, I'm early, like 1 minute, so this should be fine. Yeah, well, we won the friendly. That's good, 6-0 against Eli Rangers. Which reminds me of the supporters immediately. Yeah, well, we shall get the better of them if we play them in any meaningful match. Apparently friendlies are not meaningful. So this doesn't matter. Morale-wise though, I think it does. A little bit. There's good morale here. By Adam Jones as well as Morgan Moody for some reason. We have 9 days to go until the next real match. Sharpness is not top-notch yet. Is there anything we can do about that? There's a lot of other match preparation going on, right? Say we remove this and do a match preview, because we need a slight increase in sharpness, I think. Especially at this point. So we can probably get rid of defending corners and do attacking movement instead here. This is all match preparation now. Just for this one match. Probably some overall training here. Also, there's something I want to look at. So, regular watcher Charon Nullet brought up a great point in a private message. He said whenever Yates plays, whip crosses are probably appropriate. In case Holt plays, maybe floated or mixed crosses work better. So whip crosses require some technique, and they come into the penalty area with some pace, which, according to what I've learned about Football Manager throughout the years, should imply that we need some sort of good anticipation, good movement. Off the ball movement's not that bad, decision making composure's not that bad, anticipation isn't that bad. There's some sense to this, right? Preferably, he also had better physicals. That said, with the sample of attributes and that strength, we might stand a chance with whip cross, so I agree with this. Alex Holt, on the other hand, he has better jumping reach. That's the difference. I'm not sure if he's so much different from the mental side. He seems a little bit worse. The wrong one. There it is. So, the finisher of Alex Holt is a whole point better. That's not worth mentioning. Heading of Toby Yates is 4 points better. That's good. He also has decent technique and so on. Doesn't matter much for the crosses, I think. With the heading, at this point we would probably argue that, well, both of them are decent headers, so float them in. This is more or less similar. Anticipation by Toby Yates is a little bit better. And his off-the-ball movement is a little bit better. That said, composure and decision-making are a little bit worse. So I guess... I don't know yet? You're early. With the hydrate, that is. Welcome back to the stream. I will though. Got a glass full of water here. I'm slowly but steadily. I guess I'm getting used to being called boss for some reason. If you keep that up for another year or two, maybe I will finally feel comfortable with it. Yeah. To go back to the topic though, Teamwork by Alex Holt is much better. And his jumping reach is way better. I'm not so sure if the crosses are a good fit. If we float them in specifically, actually. I'm kind of good, with the exception of... Give me a second. That should do. With the exception of, apparently allergies turn up, you know, 5 seconds after you start a stream. To be fair, it started to rain outside and then it stopped. So, there's this sound even though the window is open. The playground down there is deserted right now. There was rain. It is. It is. Weirdly enough, I think I'm allergic to stuff that keeps flying once there's some humidity outside. And I'm not sure how to put it in English. To whatever, grass, basically. And that stuff grows throughout the entire summer. So fun times ahead for me. You will probably witness it live on stream though. Repeatedly. So in case I'm ever really like not fit for streaming, that's probably due to allergies. Yeah, maybe that's it. I remember I had some sort of allergy one time when I was at work. That's 10 or 15 years ago, and I had a really horrible time. It was raining cats and dogs outside, and I was allergic all day. Like, really horribly strong. I don't know what happened back then. Doesn't matter though. Those days are long gone, and hopefully they will not come back. So with respect to the crossing, I'm not sure. Yeah, similar with me. But it also changed throughout the years, but there was always something. To be fair, it got a lot better. I guess since I started to take the skateboard outside, right at the start of the year. To be fair, I never quite stopped. As long as it's not, as long as there's no snow, and there's no, well, in autumn it's really dangerous to go outside with the skateboard, because there's all sorts of stuff on the paths. Yeah. So if you wanna, you know, break your face, that's probably the time to do it in autumn. Go outside on a skateboard, you will manage to get hurt. But in other times, especially in winter, it's actually not that bad. Even at like 5 degrees Celsius, doesn't matter. Put on a sweater, get on the back of the deck. As long as there's no snow and it's dry, you are fine. No problem. So it's a bit counterintuitive. Anyway, since I started doing that, allergies went down a little bit. So at least in my sample of 1, it feels like there's some merit to the argument that you should get outside more. Yeah, they do. They do. And they do it to hurt skateboarders. This is their intent. I'm not 100% sure why it got better for me. It might have to do with, you know, this is like a triple whammy, I think. You're more outside, so kind of the body gets used to the exposure, maybe. But that's just one theory. There's also activity, like physical activity. You know, skateboarding is kind of exhausting. You might have guessed. And I'm just cruising along on my skateboard. So you can probably imagine how exhausting it is for people that know what they do. And quite contrary to me. And then there's the stuff with the sun. So being outside usually includes some sun exposure, which might just generate some vitamin D. So given that might have a role in the regulation of the immune system. Maybe that's a plus too. So in the end, I don't know what worked, but it got better. Also, I got older, so now we have aspect 4, I think. Feel free to choose. I'm not a medical expert. I don't know. Well, about the crossing, to get back to that, I want to look at something. And this is... Next time out, we will play against Mr. Graytheen. My problem is, he's a 17-year-old with no command of area. Fantastic. Yeah, my problem is... I don't know. And weirdly enough, usually it settles in once I go back into a cleaner environment. But that might have to do with the activity. You know, while you're doing sports, usually the body is busy with other stuff. So once you go back in and settle down and there's fresh air all over it, body's like, oh, there is half a ton of pollen in here. I should probably get rid of that. And then you have a really shitty hour afterwards. Or, you know, take the shower and drown your fears of allergies in, under the shower. Something like this. Yeah, so the argument, though, that I wanted to make, prior to getting sidetracked by allergies live on stream, in case you're still watching this later on YouTube, congratulations! Anyway, the floated crosses come with one problem. The goalkeeper might also come out and claim them. I'm not a big fan of that. It is. I need to get vaccinated. I seriously do. I kind of forgot to do that time and time again. It's been a while since my vaccination against what's it called? In German it's FSMA. So FSME. But I'm not sure what the abbreviation is in English. Yeah, so I need a refresh there. With this goalkeeper, he tends to rush out and he has really great handling. Otherwise, there's some weird stuff here. So maybe we should also adapt the crossing to the goalkeepers and the central defenders. Okay. Well, to be fair, this is always the argument, right? And it largely depends on how you live, where you live. So in southern Germany, it's probably worthwhile to go with the vaccination, just in case. Just because the downfall risk is rather high, you know? In case you get one of those. Second, by the way, is ticks, I think, in English. At least that's what comes to mind. But yeah, in case you get one of those, you do not want to be one of these people that are not vaccinated, and then all of a sudden you are in really bad luck. It's unlikely that you will get hurt long term, but if it happens, and especially if you don't realize it, that's no joke. I think in school, the brother of one of my schoolmates got one of the ticks that was infected, and he was not vaccinated, and that didn't turn out well. He's handicapped, I think, to this day. Not that I have any contact with these people anymore, but that was 20 years ago. Still, you don't want to get that stuff. So I guess there's no need to be saying get vaccinated these days anymore. But whatever. Man. Yeah, but are you in some, like, Vienna is not some sort of risky area, is it? I think I had a few in my lifetime, but luckily never, I don't know, either I was lucky or but most of them I kind of caught prior to being in the process of fighting. So you know, you come home, you go straight under the shower, and usually you catch something. Also, I do not have long hair, in case you noticed. Um, I'm a short hair guy, so that helps, in case you have something somewhere. Yeah, I see. Luckily, they do not like to climb on skateboards, so I'm kind of protected. But for long walks in the forest or something, quite a thing. I don't think he should go down to the U19 specifically. So, with respect to the crossing, as recommended by Sharon Allard, I'm not so sure if I follow that argument. But I'm not opposed to the whip crosses. That might be bias on my side though. I actually like whip crosses from the looks, I think. I like the style. That said, usually I don't manage teams that are able to pull that off. With the floated crosses, if it would be somebody like Ishak Al-Holmström, with 18 jumping reach, I would probably agree. In these circumstances, though, it doesn't feel like there's much of an impact to floated crosses. Floated crosses should be for somebody that has good jumping reach and maybe bad position, bad off the ball movement. So they got more time to position themselves, and in case one of the defenders makes an error, then it's fine. But that's for people that are really friggin' strong, that can push away whoever comes to claim the ball. So, seen from that perspective, I'm not sure if this is a good idea for those two. Maybe we should stick to mixed after all, to keep it varied, just to keep the defenders guessing. Yeah. Also, ticks don't jump. They, as far as I'm aware, this is not a thing. It's not like they climb on trees and jump towards their prey, because that doesn't sound viable. They do not have any organs that can find out if something is below them to jump down on them. They just climb on grass and grab onto something once something moves past them. That's what they're good at. So given that I usually do not skate in grass because there's no concrete, well, that's kind of fun. I'm not a big fan of this. Marking and positioning are outstanding. Strength not so much. It's a very tactical defending, I think. Good acceleration and pace though. But sure, fully guard him. Why not? And just to mention this, in case you hear the children in the background, windows open right now. But in case you hear them in the background and it's starting to get annoying, please inform me, because I hear it constantly, but usually it shouldn't trigger the microphone. But it might be in the background whilst I'm speaking. So, any thoughts about the next match, other than we need to win this? Otherwise, I feel like we will probably get fired. This is like... So, you probably get the feeling. Or you would not be able to decide whose fault it is this time. So, probably no good asking you. You're used to it. Well, yeah. So there's some sense to this. We didn't get him. Welcome back, Chernold, and I don't know, what's the appropriate American greeting to answer in your language? Probably a couple of M60 rounds fired to the sky or something? Is that how it works in America? I'm not sure. I just want to be nice. No, seriously though, thank you very much, and welcome back. Guten Tag. So, I just went over your input about the crossing. But first of all, a moment in silence, please. We will not get that Amador. He got loaned. No, he got loaned to Carmarthen, which is in the North League. So at least we will not face him. Yeah, that would have been a really great signing on loan. So he will not come. Sure, we gotta deal with what we have. In other news, this is no good. There will be no additional friendly. We have 7 days until the match. We have all the match preparation there is. And with respect to the crossing, I just realized that I will probably go with mixed crossing on both. Because I do not think they are that dominating physically to go for floated crosses. Injuries are... So far, injuries have not been a great deal of a problem. We might do... So, I somehow agree with this. The review is a no-brainer. We gotta do this. What we might do here is one of those. Switch it like this. We could, for example, do team bonding here. That shouldn't do anything. It slightly reduces condition. It's really hard to get hurt. Stuff like this. We need dynamics to improve. We need club atmosphere to improve. We need them in good mood. So that might be useful. I do somehow care about teamwork attribute too, yeah. Is there a reason to go praising them all over again? Sure, but I'd rather do it with some distance. Also, there's a friendly here. So, given that a U19 plays a friendly, and we have some people in here that could definitely use some match practice. Everybody that is on light load and needs some sharpness can go to the U19 friendly. That's a lot of players. Hopefully I picked the right option here. Also, I dropped a mail to Sharkoon about the mouse. So maybe I will get it fixed. Don't know yet. Otherwise, I will just buy other hardware at some point. The second stream yesterday contained a friendly. It will be on YouTube, I think, throughout the week. But, well, you can just watch the VOD here on Twitch, right? In case you're interested. It contained a friendly. A friendly that we won. I don't know. I don't want to spoil you too much, but it's one of those playing the rivals friendlies to improve the mood and sharpness. And we will do one of those here against Quince again later on. It's basically multiple approaches. Club finances are suffering, so we need to earn money. Friendlies are one way to earn money, even though it's small scale here. And we also need to improve morale and get sharpness up. So I guess we play friendlies and we play the local rivals all over again. Might not be that interesting. I know that I can also skip this. On the other hand, yeah. I guess that's the concept. Sure. So, yeah. We should at least try, right? Also, apologies, I didn't do a new sound bits just yet. Maybe I will get to it throughout the week. I also want to do one of these stickers for some sort of goal or something. Just to have some flexibility. There are, gotta tell you about this. So, ideas are really welcome. For now, there's an additional 9 slots that I can use with custom stickers, and afterwards they unlock. It is up to 36 in case we unlock all the slots. You can probably guess how unlocking these slots works. So I will not go into this in order not to alienate mangled cabbage, but you know, capitalism and stuff. For now though, we have 9 additional slots, so in case you have any ideas or anything you want to have, and want me to do some sort of sticker there, feel free to give me, you know, a hint into the right direction or something. That's probably not a proper way to phrase it, but you get the gist. Yeah. So, about there, I'll look into it, Jaron. You might also ask on stream if you're interested in that. Give me a second. Yates' jumping and strength is 8 and 11. So jumping reach is not that great. He's a good header though. So in case he gets to the ball, he's likely to find the right one. He's also moderately strong. And in Holt's case, jumping reach is 13, strength is 11, and heading is 11. That sounds really good, but for some reason he's not that great so far. If we look at the stats, hopefully there's some sort of heading in here. Here. Headers 1 is 39%. That's kind of low for target man, I think. Let's have a look at Yates. Well, headers 1 is 7%. So I guess in Yates' case, floated crosses is not a thing. That's no good. Target man or no target man. In fact, it feels like maybe he's a deep lying forward after war. Nah, his passing's shit. But I guess there's some merit to arguing that he should probably be deep lying forward, right? Which would fit nicely with some sort of shadow striker, but it's a bit late to change that now. And Holt. It might have to do with the mentals actually in his case. Not so much with the jumping reach of 13, that might be fine. So, yeah. Okay, I don't care about this. I care about this. They seem to play a tiki-taka style. And it seems to be a close contest. Yeah. We could. But low crosses usually are for... The problem with whip crosses is they demand some technique by the crossers, don't they? So I'm starting to think maybe just let the player figure it out. It might depend on the situation, and I'd rather keep it varied. We could try low crosses, sure. But given their acceleration and pace, they might probably realize it, but It doesn't specifically say that this is a good idea. It also vastly depends on defenders, obviously. So maybe we vary it, depending on what we face. You gotta learn this, though. So, in his case, for example, a whopping 5 points of heading and 8 points of jumping reach probably say float the cross in. He's not a central defender. In Walker's case, he's a really great jumper, but his heading is absolutely shit. What the hell? That's really bad players. We gotta win this match. Good positioning though. That's fair. And that jumping reach is also quite impressive. Also, he dives into tackles for some reason, and so he's a snail too. Really slow. Probably same here. Yeah, he doesn't need to jump. True. He isn't though. I don't know. Street lamp. Yeah, maybe. Going back to the report. Short passing, extreme pressing, and movement. Extreme variant of the controlled possession style. So I guess the question is, what will we face here? 2 wingers and a poacher. That poacher is rather fast, and he has a good finish overall. So I expect him to outrun the opposition. His off-the-ball movement is okay-ish. Anticipation is good, as expected, for a poacher. But assuming there's some sort of congested area, he would probably have problems finding space. At least he should. The anticipation is good, but he's not very concentrated. So he might not realize it soon enough. Decision making is not that great. Off the ball movement with 7 is not that impressive. So the argument here is basically he might not outrun his marker, or he might not find space within the defenders. How are those? Fast. Fast and good dribblers. Also decent off the ball movement. That's not a bad creator, right? And Jordan Carey, again, fast, but otherwise quite unimpressive. Yeah, I'm starting to think though. I'm starting to think that this is the wrong approach. So pushing high up on the pitch faces us with... No, we are faced... Pushing high up on the pitch, we are faced with the pace, right? Of all of them. And whilst that can work, I'm not so sure. We don't have very pacey guys. Fullbacks suffer more often than not. And we face players... Again, I'm just pulling those up. Look at this. He has no crossing whatsoever. His off-the-ball movement is horrible. He has no passing whatsoever. No flair, no vision, no creativity. He runs with the ball down the right, and afterwards he doesn't know what to do. Also, he's employed on the left for some reason. But that shouldn't matter much. He will run past his man. In other news, he's probably useless. At least that's what I determined from the attributes, right? And if we look at Ryan Stokes, he's a dribbler. That's I think from a creative perspective, dribbling is fine, but that doesn't necessarily create chances. It might, but if this is the only way they create chances, if they are faced with some sort of low block that is really congested, they will have their problems. So the wingers are quite impressive from a pace perspective, but not otherwise. I would like to focus them on otherwise. The striker has jumping reach 9. That's not bad. Heading 7 isn't that bad either, but it's not great. Also strength 5. So with the crossing, they will probably need low crosses or something to find him. Again, also the off-the-ball movement. So faced with stronger opposition and limited space, he might have a hard time. The anticipation is great though. Also, if he ever gets to tap the ball in, he will probably do it with 15 points of finishing. So there's a certain risk there, sure. On the other hand, I'd rather not face outrunning him. You know, we might have a problem in case we are faced with a duel man-to-man for him, because his anticipation is good enough that he will probably not be offside, not be caught offside all that much, despite the off-the-ball movement 7. I don't want to risk it. So, for now, to me at least, right now, this says low block. Defend, you know, whatever. Sure, we want to win this game, but maybe we can also win this game using counterattacks. Jack Rimmer is physically impressive. Passing's not that great. Now, they're long shots. The wingers or everyone's? Long shots is 2. Long shots is 4. Thomas's long shots is 2. So they shouldn't be threatening from from in a low block they shouldn't be that threatening. They might take a long shot from time to time, but usually it should be a stray. Otherwise I would probably call this a freak accident. Yeah, you say easy. No. We know how this ends, at least as long as we manage Taffs well. So, okay, that's another argument for a low block. This guy is somewhat a defensive player, more or less, with that marking, tackling, and so on. It says defender on the right or midfielder. He's not a good crosser. His dribbling is borderline acceptable, probably. And he is really pacey. Good stamina too. He's a leader. That's it. I wouldn't necessarily say that this is a great creator, right? Jack Rimmer. So I guess I do not expect him to create much. Especially if faced with tightly packed opponents. Which brings us to Alex Roberts. He's probably the best passer in the entire midfield. Great face, by the way. That picture is fantastic. Anyway, that's probably a real person. I'm sorry, Alex. Sorry. He's tall. Good decision making. Vision's good. Passing is good. And then the off-the-ball movement, there's some abrupt drop-off in necessary skills for a playmaker. So, even though he has decent jumping reach and decent strength, my argument here is probably go with a tight mark. Do we have somebody that can mark him tightly in the squad? Is there somebody in midfield that can do this? So, assuming we play a low block, not necessarily with these roles, we assume that Alex Roberts plays on the right, so this is our left side in midfield, which is the box-to-box midfielder. Do we have anyone that has great physicals that can play box-to-box, or, I don't know, ball-winning midfielder on support? I don't care. Who's capable to play in midfield? Mickey Lewis. Mickey Lewis has fantastic technique and no strength whatsoever, so I don't think so. He's not a good tackler either. Hamilton doesn't belong here. George Owen might. George Owen's tackling is really bad. Same as his strength. Aggression is okay. I'd rather not rely on him for... What's his marking? His marking is 5. Let's not forget about Lewis. No, Lewis's marking is 5 too. So that's not an option. Mohamed Toker? I guess that's not the worst I've seen, but he's not specifically a defensive player, as we know. Nate Davies is more of a playmaker type, and it certainly shows. Gary Byrne? No, playmaker type. Cole Gibbings? Central defender. Latona left back. Darren Evans. Darren Evans might fit that purpose, actually, but he doesn't know how to play there. He would be better in that role. Who's the other defensive midfielder? Martinez. Martinez knows how to play in midfield. So, let's do something weird. Let's push Martinez up front as a ball-winning midfielder on support duty. He has most of the attributes for that, so that probably will not be that bad. We assume that Martinez plays here, this match. We assume that he plays as a ball-winning midfielder on support. True, but on the other hand, we're comparing Martinez's skill level. Look, just look at the color highlighting for a second. For these. Focusing on the bad passing doesn't matter much. We will just instruct him to pass, play a short passing game, do not do much creative stuff, doesn't matter much in that low block formation. First and foremost, his job is a defensive one, and the defensive one is to take out the playmaker. The agility, sure, that's a problem. Also, anticipation isn't that great, but the rest of it, most of this is above 7 at least, right? And even anticipation, passing, and agility are not that horrible. Also, it's just the best option we have if we're looking at a defensive option in midfield right now. If we compare this now to the skill level that we're trying to defend against, which is Alex Roberts, the jumping reach is quite impressive, as is the vision and the passing. The off-the-ball movement is between 3 and 5. His pace isn't that high either. So I'd argue that 3 to 5 points of the ball movement we should be able to defend against with 10 points of marking, 8 points of positioning, right? He's way better in this. Alex Roberts is on the right, so this is the left in central midfield. You know, he needs to be faced with the other player. Otherwise, he's on the wrong spot on the pitch. Or would you... Nah, but I want him to tight mark this guy. That's his job. I want him to mark him out of the game. I do not necessarily want him to win back the ball. I just want him to mark him out of the game. Now, if we had a second player like this, yeah, but again, his job is not a creative one. So we will probably do something like this. Dribble less, shoot less often, take fewer risks. Probably try to mark tighter in his case. Because he needs to mark Roberts. So that's what I think right now. He finds a playmaker. And afterwards we see. If we had a second player like this in the squad, A second player that might be able to win back the ball somewhere. We might use that player to not tight mark, so especially if that player had no great marking, but really great tackling, for example, and great aggression. We might instruct that player to stay away from the midfielder, the one of the two, so Rimmer, I guess, with the worst passing, and close him down once he gets to the ball, because he has no great decision making and so on and so forth. So win back the ball from Jack Rimmer is probably a good idea. And avoid ever letting the ball go to Alex Roberts. At least that's how we did it with the other Hawkdals, didn't we? So I guess that's my concept for now. I also should have a look at the defensive midfielder. Yeah. He's not that creative either. He's more of a defensive option. To be fair, technically not as ungifted as the rest. But not impressive. Andy Roberts is really slow. Great defender though, and really good passing. So he's kind of dangerous. With that passing though, in a low block, he shouldn't have much of a chance to find somebody. For some reason, their defenders have better passing than the midfielders. Playmaker's on the same line as Martinez. He will most often than not find him because passing lane will be clogged. Yeah, there's no triangle there. Sure, that's true. That's true actually, yeah. So he might need to go back to the other Baldwin midfielder back here. But there's also the possibility that he might find one on the wing. Or just, anyone. In the end, I'm happy if we keep possession, right? Sure. If we could initiate a counter-attack or two, that would be great. But it doesn't necessarily need to happen every single time. And I'd rather prioritize in these circumstances. I'd rather prioritize the countering their best playmaker, if there is some sense to this. We can also do the same, by the way, to this guy. I feel like Andy Roberts has a really great passing. 11 points of passing is not something that I want to keep unmarked. He is a good jumper. Okay. Well, you are entitled to your opinion. That's fine. Going back to this guy though. He's really slow. We do not need a really fast player to mark him. Also, he has bad off-the-ball movement. Accidentally, we know a certain Muhammad Toker. Muhammad Toker's natural position is out here. And for some reason, he's actually not that horrible with tackling. Positioning and marking aren't that bad either. So we can maybe instruct him to mark the defender on the right. No, this is the wrong guy. Sorry, I'm wrong. Well, we will see. I'm not sure if it is about the formation. Andy Roberts is on the left. So we need somebody on the left to mark him. That's hard to do. Is there anyone on the left? I guess Mickey Lewis or Gavin Trainor. Gavin Trainor is really bad at defending. We don't need anyone that's really great though. We just need somebody to counter. I guess that's something. We need somebody to counter 2 to 4 points of off the ball movement, was it right? 2 to 5. So assuming this is a 4, that off the ball movement. He has good stamina, decent work rate. But we just put somebody in here that has better marking and positioning. So I guess the argument probably should be they might not stand a chance to score in the counter. In this situation with a low block, are you sure? Where would there be so much space? Are we talking half spaces here? That would imply a long shot or something. They are really shitty at that. So I'm not saying you're wrong about this, but I'm not sure if I would judge it right now. It's not that much of a low block though, is it? And in fact, we're doing standard defensive line and low line of engagement. So, I guess we do not even block that low in this situation. We might drop back to an actual low block though. But for now, this is standard defensive line and low block. So this shouldn't be within the penalty area. It's just they basically attack them once they crossed midfield line. A bit later, actually. That's not penalty area just yet, is it? I'm not sure. We didn't use this in a while, right? In his case, anyway, I think defensive winger is probably a good idea for Lewis. So that should help in marking the one specific player, and this is Rob Thomas. Is it? I'm on the wrong side again. Yeah, we want to tight mark Andy Roberts, not Rob Thomas. In a 4-4-2? Why would the space be much more condensed in a 4-4-2? There's a player missing in a 4-4-2 in the middle here. The field's kind of confusing to me. 4-4-2 is quite prone to being exploited in the middle usually. It's really hard to congest the midfield in a 4-4-2 because the strikers rarely work defensively. Yeah. So, but in that case, the strikers need to help out in defense. I think that's possible, but we do not have pressing forwards or something. It really depends on the capabilities of the squad. So this is why I'm trying to use what we have here and go more defensively. I want to specifically counter that one player that is the most dangerous in their squad. And otherwise, we will put Darren Evans here, and then we will play additional central defenders here. So I guess that's Griffiths and Cole Gibbings. So now, you might argue we have 4 central defenders on the pitch, or ball-winning midfielders, or however you want to put it. That's much more defensively oriented than usually. Also, Latona will not play. I will probably play Doherty. Come to think of that, and here, it really depends. Adair or Flynn Murray, who has better stats? They are quite similar, aren't they? So, as a defender, he might not be that bad. I do not expect him to do much else. Chris Adair. Chris Adair's tackling is a bit off. As a replacement, he's fine, but I wouldn't want to start him in this match. So I guess Flynn Murray it is. I didn't decide on these yet. But Muhammad Toker here. The friendly. The last friendly. Well, either we win at some point or we get fired. That's the way it is. Oh. I do not want everyone to mark a specific player though. Friendlies don't count. Well, it's not like this situation is not concerning to me, man. The problem is it doesn't help. Like, I can be concerned all I want. I can do tactical revamps all I want. But if the player do not put it on the pitch, it will not happen. Martinez in midfield is a big bet already. There's an additional concept here that might be viable. We have that Williams guy in the U19. Michael Williams. No, not Michael Williams. There's an additional Williams. Of course there's an additional Williams. Oh. Somewhere around here, there's the midfielder that we signed. This guy, Elliot Williams. Elliot Williams' core position is ball-winning midfielder in central midfield. We might just play him once more. Like this. So forget about Martinez. He's not used to it tactically. I'll just drop him. I need to redo his training later on. What about Elliot Williams in this position? Not as a box-to-box midfielder, obviously, but as a ball-winning midfielder. He's no good at it. Shit. No, I will stick to it now. I will stick to doing. You might argue the same thing all over again, but really, I feel like we didn't do the same thing all over again. Well, we did. We changed everything all the time, and this didn't work. I know better. At least I imagine I know better. So, for an instance, right now, I do not want to change anything. Or not much, anyway. I have my doubts too, but to be fair, the 4-1-4-1 is one of these formations that we didn't play on the stream. You were the one to criticize that I always play a 4-3-3. Now there's no 4-3-3 here. It's a 4-1-4-1 now. That's a bit different at least, okay? It counts. So, also a 4-2-3-1. Which I have my problems with, to be fair. But at least I'm trying to do something different. So, I guess it's part of the fun. I want to compare him to Martinez. Martinez didn't forget within the last 5 minutes. I realize, thank you. Yes, that's what I was joking about. Nah, due to skill level, I'd rather play Martinez. They both are not that capable to do this, so Martinez is fine here. He just needs to get used to whatever he can with the remainder of the week. But otherwise, this is okay. Simon Owen, he trains really well, does he? I know, yeah. So my concept now is to mark the 2 best passers on the pitch. To man mark them. And probably mark them tightly too. because this guy's jumping is fair, but I don't care if he wins the header. If he wins the header, he cannot play a dangerous pass. So tight marking is fine by Toker. Even though Toker will lose that duel more often than not. And he's also, look at that, he will not outrun Mohamed Toker. So that's not a problem. And with Alex Roberts, that's the second best passer on the pitch. We will also mark him tightly. He's not fantastic with off-the-ball movement. Again, if he out-jumps his marker, sure, or out-muscles him, sure, that can happen. But he will have a hard time with Martinez, hopefully. The others here, the defenders are better passers than the remainder of the players on the pitch. So there's some risk to this. But in a low block situation, I think we might stand a chance. Also, don't forget they come with bad morale and so on and so forth. We will probably have a talk with our player base there. I would take the team talk, but I think team talk again 2 matches later is probably overdoing it. So I have a hard time to see a sense in that. Okay, no important messages yet. What's next? Yes, that's fine. That's fine too. We can use we cannot. We do not have an analyst. We also lost 10k this month. We should probably have a look into this at some point, right? Because 10k per month are kind of concerning. Where does all the money go? What's the violet stuff? Oh, let's just look through last month. Last month we paid a lot in bonuses. That's appearance fees, I think. Yeah, this is appearance fees. So we paid him too much for appearance fees. Matchday expenses, we can't do shit about that. Ground maintenance, same. Staff wages, this is on us, sure. But it doesn't feel like we're overdoing it staff wages wise. No, it's the playing stuff. Other is, you know, nonsense. That's friendlies arranged and so on. Youth setup is quite a big one. Scouting costs are not that high. I think scouting costs in this area are fine. We will have some scouting costs at some point. And the rest of it is nothing. Player wages. That's probably exactly one person. Maybe not. I don't know. On the income side, fundraising is most of what we get. That's not great. Obviously, we got it ourselves, given that we were thrown out of both cup competitions. So, club finance really looks bad, of course. So, I guess there is a big reason to go through all of these and give them new contracts if required. Okay. We should probably start with the easiest ones though, won't we? So, we gotta reduce the wage budget in the end. That's it. This wage budget needs to come down. If only we want to at least limit the amount of loss that we bring in this season. So this needs to come down. At the risk of losing players, that is. That's my big problem with it. So let's have a look at the squad. But the next match is against the 16th of the league. It's a league game against Aberdare. That's what I was going on about. Let's have a look at these reports. Alright. So the best player apparently is still considered to be Adam Jones. One of the worst players is considered to be Gavin Trainor. Gavin Trainor... I wasn't aware that he's so bad. But at least according to Sam Jones, he's no good. Do we pay him? Nope, we don't. So I guess that settles it. We can give him an emergency backup contract at this point. I wasn't aware. And we will not give him money, that's for sure. I think nobody will come and take him. And if somebody comes and takes him, well, okay. We can live with that, right? So, he's not getting paid. Jamie Roberts at 1.5 stars is not getting paid either. He's emergency backup, actual playing time is squad player for some reason. I do not think so. No use in renegotiating this. Sam Jones's contract is really down to the fact that he's assistant manager. So, also, that's 1.5 years missing on the contract. At 15 euros per week for an assistant manager, this is a steal. Mickey Lewis's contract needs to come down, I think. He gets paid. And at this point, he's emergency backup at best. Sadly, I might add. He's willing to move on with this, and now we remove the money, in case we play him. At least that's what I'm trying to do right now. Yeah, he can agree with this. Gareth Griffiths, in his role as a central defender, he should be youngster or something. Future prospect he is. No money whatsoever. No use talking about this, this is fine. Ollie Isaac, as a 17-year-old, he should probably be youngster. He's considered to be a breakthrough prospect and he gets no money whatsoever. I want to remove no money whatsoever though. You know, we can probably live with this. Also, we reduce his playing time requirements. Doherty, 18 years old, no money. He's not wanted by anyone. What's the playing time? He's considered to be a youngster. That's pretty low, actually. So, I'm starting to think maybe we put him on breakthrough prospect. I am. And I thought to myself, prior to starting this about the wages and stuff, I thought to myself, maybe it's not worth it. But on the other hand, once I realize something, I should probably do it, and to me this is part of the fun, so why not do it, right? And I was going on about the next match. I will do the next match for sure on this stream, but, you know, you told me to take my time with the niddly fiddly stuff, so that's niddly fiddly stuff. Let's do it. In Doherty's case, I want to increase the playing time. And this is due to me wanting to give him more importance in the squad. Yeah, I realize. Let me do a short break. Somebody's ripping apart a box outside. Who could that be? She might deserve a kiss. So we'll do an ad break. See you in a few minutes. Additional loud sounds might happen. We got some stuff delivered. Should be unpacked now, but you know, sometimes people do not think about me and my streaming. So, I want to put him on Breakthrough Prospect. I think we played O'Hurdy in, Sharon, thank you for the point, by the way. I just read that. It's kind of surprising, yes. But I'm not thinking about the level of play right now with this decision. With this decision, I'm actually thinking about influence in the squad. And I don't want to overdo it in an 18-year-old. But I want to increase the playing time to Breakthrough Prospect because it will not do much to the wage requirements, I feel. But he's a Resolute player after all. And Resolute is a good personality, so I want to have some impact. Some positive impact on the rest of the squad, right? Otherwise, no payment for him. Then there's George Owen. I think we pay him. That should probably change. He considers himself to be a fringe player. We signed him as a fringe player. That's not bad. Fringe player is fine, I think. Fringe player is not one to have high influence on the remainder of the squad. He's fairly loyal though, so it wouldn't be... You know, it wouldn't be horrible if he considered himself to be a squad player. He will not play enough there. Or he might not. So, say we remove all of this. What does he say? It's a reasonable start. Reasonable start usually means it's not good enough, right? So he needs some money. And we pay him 16.99 right now. We brought him in on 16.99. So we can definitely lowball this. And try to get him down below this. I don't care about the unused substitute fee much. That's low amounts of money. He wants to be closer. So let's say we do 25. 15.9. Ah, that's better. So that would be really great. I do not think he will agree to this, but let's try. Perfect. Let's renegotiate this. So this is the level for fringe players. That doesn't work. He probably doesn't insist on the assist bonus though. Nope, he doesn't. Okay, $5. Sure. That saves us 35 euros per appearance, at least, for him. And he did make an appearance from time to time, so that's good. Yes. And we cannot afford that many shoes. How's Darren Evans? 22-2, that's not expensive. He's considered to be a squad player. I do not necessarily agree with this. He has some flexibility though. So we play him from time to time. Being squad player is fine, given that he's fairly pro and reserved. Take him play barefoot. Welcome to No Use for My Soul streaming. Take him play barefoot. Let him train with potatoes. Yep. Yep, that's me. True. True. We need all the monies for ourselves. Do not give it to the players. This is a role-playing game in the end. It's a kind of a weird role, but the concept still holds. Take everything, give nothing back. Put it all in the inventory. Do not spend money. If you are not rich at the end of the game, you did it wrong. Hoard it all. Do not use anything. This is probably really bad advice. You guys are horrible people, I like you. This is fantastic. Oh. Alright, so do we want him to be squad player in the future? Sure, why not? We can also consider him to be a breakthrough prospect. He's happy with that. Yeah, I see what I did there. It reduces his interest in playing for us. There's a certain problem with this, that's sure. This is reasonable to him. It's not about the money though. Yeah, I did something like this off stream at some point to save club finances. Turns out it works for some reason, you know? It can work at least. So if you are in a club that is absolutely devastated financially, just get rid of everything. Sometimes this works, yes. You just need to hold the league somehow. We're trying to keep it there. That's a bit above what we paid him previously. This will probably go down to 5, just as with the others. And he will probably not insist on that fee. Can we reduce this any further? In fact, he doesn't insist on it at all. That's fantastic. How about this? He doesn't want money. He wants 20 bucks. Alright. That's good. We're getting into the expensive areas, by the way. You will probably think at one point, what did he do? No, he isn't. I think the highest paid player is Morgan Mooney, because he came from England. And you know, in England, they pay... You got rain? Great. I could use some rain here. Just children's voices outside. I will probably be known as a child hater. I don't hate children. I just do not like having their sons around all day. Children are fine. I will probably not talk myself out of this. Yeah, anyway. So Alex Holt, he got a new contract offer for... I guess that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. Let's keep it like that. Nate Davies gets paid too much. Fringe player is probably good for him. Yeah, he's 22. Being a fringe player is fine for him, I think. And that's too much money. So, how much did he earn? 50 something, right? 55. I want to get him down to 25 too. This club doesn't have money anymore. Well, we have 70k in the bank, but... Okay. Let's start out with 15. That's not good enough for him. Weirdly enough, mouse wheel works 90% of the time now. Not reliable enough, but good enough to do this stuff at least. He's more or less pleased with it. Okay. So, I guess we do it like this. Hopefully he can agree to this. He can. Now, let's see if he wants the assist bonus at all. Doesn't look like it. This is good. I think this will go down to 5 and not beyond. That's it, yes. And the 35 euros he will probably insist on. He doesn't. Alright. That's way lower than what we have previously. So White Tuck doesn't get paid. As far as I'm aware. He does get paid. You are still emergency backup, sir. And we will not pay an emergency backup. Fantastic. This was fun. Chris Adair. I consider him to be a fringe player at best. He's considered to be a youngster. And he doesn't get paid. As an 18-year-old youngster is fine, right? That's good. Let's keep him like this. Oh, he's wanted. Maybe... Barman Ford. Let them offer first. Max amount of hydrate is 1? It is? I think I changed that at some point. Why? I think I changed it. Give me a second. That shouldn't be a problem. It should be under channel rewards, I think, here. Or not. Brand. No, that's definitely not the setting. Permissions. Drops and rewards. There we go. No, that's the wrong one. I can change it to none at all. You know, no limits. At least I think I can. But I cannot seem to find the option right now. I know that this exists. So where's rewards though? It's in some sort of sub menu. Sorry. There it is. Much easier to find than I thought. Here it is. Manage rewards and challenges. Maximum hydrate. No. There is no maximum amount. There's a redemption cooldown time of 5 minutes. So you don't make me feel like some sort of bloated fish or something. But there's only a redemption cooldown timer. Okay. So I guess I put it to 100. Try again, please. Yeah, I realize. But you should be able to try again now. I saved it. Yeah, that's good. I like that. So I'm live on stream now. I'm trying to set it all up. Yeah, that's fine. In fact, we should probably put a longer timer on that. It didn't change it. Well, in that case, I don't know what to do. It might change with the next stream. But I went with your approach now. There's numbers in there everywhere. So it's 100 now. You can have 100 hydrate events now on stream. I think every 5 minutes. So that shouldn't be a problem anymore. I I don't know. I didn't change anything with this though. I took it out after somebody complained that they cannot. I don't know who it was. I don't remember anymore. Might have been Sharon Allard after all. But yeah, I took that limit out, and afterwards it worked immediately. So I'm kind of confused on why that wouldn't work right now. Then again, this is Twitch. So maybe some stuff works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. So we had Sovai Tuck. Chris Adair is kind of dangerous. The contract stuff, that is. Because he's not paid. And Amon Ford want him. On the other hand, he loves me. So who cares? Let's keep him as he is. Because I do not want to bring him into, like, a squad player. He's got low determination and that's it. That's not that impressive. Luca Latona, I would consider him to be some sort of squad player, yes. I guess that's fine. Actual playing time resembles that. He thinks he's a regular starter. Let's try to get this down. 45. That's exactly his current contract. Some way apart, well, in that case. How about this? Okay. Let's try to see if we can get a squad player. Nope. We cannot. Also, I need to close the window. The crying started outside. Alright, better. Just a little bit. So, it didn't get Luca Latona on a cheaper contract. It's not that bad though. Cole Gibbings' contract is rather expensive, yes. He's ambitious though, so this is probably the lowest we can get. Also, he considers himself to be a regular starter. I think we can live with regular starter, that's fine. Yeah, and that's more than we pay him right now. Doesn't matter much though, we'll start with 15 and move on gradually upwards. Unused substitute fee is not required. Oh. Let's put him to 35. That's still way worse than what he earns right now. So, okay, that's not good enough. We should probably have tried more. Kai Clay doesn't play anyway right now. Backup is fine for him. I think we promised that last time out, so no big deal. And that's a lot of money for a backup. We are so close. You will play for free, won't you? Sure, you will. 60 euros saved in case he ever plays. Gary Byrne. Gary Byrne's performances do not exactly say that he will be an important player anytime soon. Squad player is okay. He's unambitious. I might actually go with fringe player here. Let's try. Yeah, he's fine with being fringe player. That would reduce his importance in the squad, I think. Which is not that bad, given his personality. That's a reasonable start to him, so let's put him to 15. Mouse wheel works, we put it to 9 here. Okay. Stuff like this. What's the payment now? 55. So we put him to 45, put this down to 9. Hope for the best. This is okay. And now we see if we can get rid of this. This probably not. This works. This doesn't. Does he insist on 45 euros per game? He does. Okay. Now we're getting into the expensive territory. Morgan Moody. Morgan Moody earns a whopping 240 euros per match. I don't know, I kinda overspent on a model citizen. Sorry. He's English. What can I do? He's considered to be a regular starter. Yeah, I can agree with this. He wants to be a regular starter. He will not play striker though. And this is approximately as much as he earns right now. So I'll try to start halving this more or less. I just want to get this down. This would be a slight decrease, so that's fine. It's less than prior to that, right? Not fantastic, but it's less. Of course, it doesn't agree to that. Model citizens are damn expensive. Okay. Well, we got him to get rid of 40 euros per game. That's something. Mohammed Toker's money. He earns 100 euros? The fuck? For what? He wants to be regular starter too. Well, that will not work. He is expensive. I was aware that Moody is expensive. In Toker's case, not so much. Hmm. Alright, let's try if we can get him down. That's better. That's 2/3 of what you earned previously, so I guess that's a plus. Flynn Murray, he's light-hearted and earns 60 euros per game as a regular starter. I guess regular starter makes some sense, but I'd rather have him as some sort of squad or even fringe player. He has less interest in Amanford right now. Now it's declined though. Say we argue he's a squad player. That's better. He's less interested in Amanford now. I never quite noticed this down here. This is valuable information down here. Oh, you can't see that. Shit. I cannot drag and drop the camera. So there is a menu there. I probably can. Give me a second. I will fuck up the entire streaming display now. Wah, this is wrong. Can't I just... No, I cannot highlight that stuff. Sorry for doing that to you. Anyway, behind the camera here, I could probably undisplay myself. If I can find it. Like this? Where's the stream sticker stuff? There. See, there's a player interest menu here. This player interest menu is really important because it tells you about the interest in renegotiating for the different amounts of promised playing time. So that's valuable information. I never quite noticed that. Okay, that should do it. Cool. So in order to keep the players, I should probably look at their playing interest. The player interest in this contract according to the playing time. You earn 60 euros now, so we gotta remove that. Some way apart, I guess. Let's put it to 45. That's 15 euros less. I'm happy with that. And now let's see if we can get rid of some of the fees here. This is probably nonsense to him. That's okay. He doesn't even want the unused substitute fee. Insist on the 45 though. Fine. You Tumulty. We do pay Tumulty? He's considered to be a breakthrough prospect. I'm not sure about that. He wants to play more. That's better to him. Alright, so he will be fringe player. Given his spirited personality, that's not a bad thing. This amount of money, though, is. We offer to pay him 60 right now. So let's try 45 and hope for the best. That worked. Great. Terry Cobb is paid 62. He's considered to be a squad player, being fairly determined and all. I'd rather not have him as a squad player. Maybe French, that's good. And he's very interested in it, so that's fine with me. This is too much money. Alright. He seems to want some money. Let's give him a bonus here. To me, fairly determined is bad, yes. It's not a bad personality per se. It just says... Let me have a look into this immediately after I do this, okay? Give me a second. I will answer that question. I've got reasoning for this. So let's offer him some an additional goal bonus and hope for the best. That's fine. This can probably go down to 5. And this might go away entirely. Okay. Does he insist on the 45? He does. Fine. Let's look into his personality. So he's fairly determined and media friendly. I never look at a personality in isolation. I always look at the media handling too. First of all, fairly determined is not a bad personality. It's a middle of the road personality. But fairly determined says, I need to look this up on Guide to Football Manager, not to be an ass about this. I do not necessarily know all of these by heart. Here we go. So... You probably heard that. So, fairly determined. I will link the page. This is an overview of not only the attributes, but this is an overview, the third page, and make sure you have a net blocker installed before you visit that page. This includes fairly determined as a personality. This is fairly determined as good to very good determination, no better than very good pressure, no better than good professionalism, and no worse than very poor sportsmanship. So why is that? The good to very good determination makes some sense. The personality is named after it. It's named that way after all, right? But he has no better than very good pressure. This is indicated by the fact that he is not. I think the personality is called resilient. If he had really good pressure, he would be resilient, not fairly determined, because resilient is what dominates the name, basically. He has no better than good professionalism. So this tells us that his professionalism might be 14, 15 points max. That's not bad, but there's no downside limit here. And the same in the other way as with sportsmanship, not worse than very poor sportsmanship. So if he had sportsmanship that was even worse, he would probably be a slack or a mercenary or something like this. Probably mercenary. I'm not sure. But as you can see, there's only one statement about professionalism in here, and this statement is an upper limit. It doesn't say anything about a lower limit. So, seen from that perspective, his personality might be middle of the road on average, but it's risky. It might not be good. And if we combine this with something like level-headed, for example, this might include some loyalty and so on and so forth. So there might be some indicators about his personality that it's rather okay. But the media handling is media-friendly. So he likes to talk to the press. He doesn't complain and stuff, but he likes to talk to the press. So, does this scream I am a good personality to you yet? Probably not. And now I'll step this into one of those calculators that I brought up repeatedly to determine the exact ranges. And see if we can make some sense from this. Okay, so apparently, according to the calculator, some of my statements were wrong, but it doesn't make it any better. His controversy is between 1 and 14, apparently, because, you know, he's not volatile and confrontational and so on, so I guess that means he has somewhat low controversy. Might be 14 though, who knows. His temperament is between 7 and 20, otherwise he would probably again be volatile and so on and so forth. Sportsmanship is between 5 and 20, according to this calculator here. But professionalism is between 1 and 20, so all over the place. Guide to FM says something different. Guide to FM says he cannot be a professional. There's some sense in this. He cannot be that professional. He can't have professionalism 20. So this is probably wrong here. And similar arguments are about ambition, loyalty, and pressure. They are all between 1 and basically upper range limit. The pressure is not is only up to 16. What we just read up on, right? So seen from that perspective, we don't know. We only know about the determination. And that's bullshit information because the determination is on the character screen. Or on the non-hidden attributes. So we have no idea. So the problem is not that he's a bad personality. The problem is he is not a good personality. That's my problem with him. And it's the same with determined, by the way. It's the only attribute overall that we know of. But we know for sure that none of the others are really great. Because otherwise, it would probably influence his personality. So I hope that answers the question. To me, it's bad, personally. I would want to change this. I'd rather have him with 12 points of determination than fairly professional. Or fairly ambitious. Or, I don't know. Preferably resolute, obviously. Because resolute is that determination with additional professionalism on top. Did that explain the argument? Probably we went on about this far too long. But, you know, it's not good enough to have balanced players in the squad. They can be everything. Or fairly determined or something. The light green personalities are dangerous in that regard. They instill some false sense of I am a good personality. Same as the red ones. The red ones might not specifically be that bad. It's worthwhile to look into why they aren't good or bad. Yes. But my problem is also so fairly determined limits the upside as well as the downside. We know that he cannot be very professional or ambitious, and this is the core to these things, right? We need preferably professionalism and ambition on top, if we can have it. So perfectionist or something would be fantastic, right? I'm willing to deal with a perfectionist even though he's volatile and outspoken. And if he has really high controversy on top. Because that's a trade-off that's good. A perfectionist will develop. He's ambitious and has professionalism, he will develop. He trains like a beast, usually. And if you have a player that's just professional, like Simon Owen, he also trains. He trains hard. And that works, in the end. With a player that is fairly determined, you don't know. Yes, it is. It's a trade-off. I think ambition gives more experience per game played on the pitch, if I'm not mistaken. And that is independent of the rating. If I got that right in the back of my head. Whilst so it's basically bonus experience, ambition. The problem is that bonus experience comes with I will go towards the next club that gives me bonus experience. That's a trade-off that you have. Professionalism, on the other hand, I think translates to better performances in training overall. Also higher standards, so they might not agree with being praised at 7.2 rating. But they are also somewhat easier to deal with, usually. So professionalism basically there's no negatives to it, really. That's why professionalism is the top hidden attribute of them all. That's the one you want at 20, all the time. But there's some sense in, for example, if you want to keep a squad together, there's some sense in slapping together loyal players. And using that loyalty and maybe sparkle in a bit of professionalism, if that's the way you want to play. Why not? They will not develop that much, but you might not have a problem with players complaining all the time. Yeah, and that's fine. You can argue that I'm overdoing it. I mean, this is a lower league save. The players might leave tomorrow. I will be fired tomorrow, probably. Well, in 4 days. Or maybe in 5. But I'm starting to think about player personalities now. And the wages. So I'm probably overdoing it. We should give him a decent contract. It's just different players have different perspectives on that, and you might argue that this is entirely a waste of time. But this is what's fun to me about these kinds of things. Football Manager has a dimensional personality model. Don't let Mangle Cabbage hear that though. Money is from the devil. So regular starter is probably hard. Squad player though, I can agree with this. That's still fine. So we go with squad player here. You cannot... Oh, you can't see the menu this time. Great. So that should be fine. And he wants 80 euros. So say we settle at 45. That would be great, right? If I didn't know, I would probably guess that you're from the States at this point. Sure. That's now we're paying him some money, but on the other hand, he doesn't insist on this one. Does he insist on the goal bonus? Most likely. He's a striker after all. Yeah, with these kinds of bonuses, at this level, at some point they insist on it. Pablo Martinez, you knew. Pablo Martinez is the highest paid player in this entire squad. I was not aware. Did I pay him so much? Wow. He's level-headed and, balanced. Not great. I would kind of like to get rid of the important status, but he is an important player to us. Okay, so I guess we try to get him down to, say, 200. I don't care much about this, this is fine. Okay, let's put some sprinkle on top here. Everybody cross your fingers, I guess it is in English. There we go, 50 euros less, it's something. Yeah, we hired expensive players. That's on me. Alright. Still, 50 euros saved. And he plays. Same as him. So in his case, I actually think we should probably give him important player status, yes. Just due to the personality. He needs to be an influence on the remainder of the squad. So I would give him star player if he had, well, let's give him important player first. But this is not big money though. This is fantastic. Goalkeepers are so great. That should work. Fantastic. Okay. He insists on those 25. Sometimes they do not insist on the appearance fee though. He does. No big deal. That's great. And now there's Adam Jones. This is probably as low as we can get him. 80 and 30. He's a perfectionist after all. Also, there's a few clubs that might offer contract at some point. So that's done. Alright. Let's get forward to the match. Tom Wright is the best defender. Do we want to sign Tom Wright? I don't know. Probably cannot afford it. Chris Adair picked up some mixed personality traits. He's more focused and less likely to bring controversy, that's great. But his sense of sportsmanship has increased. He handles pressure in a better way. No good professionalism anymore. And less adaptable. The less adaptability is fine with me. I don't care. The standard of professionalism dropping though is concerning. Where does this come from? What? So I guess he got influenced by Flynn Murray? That's not great. Yeah, it's from the mentoring group. So it cannot be that, or he has really great professionalism. That might be a thing, actually. He might have really great professionalism, but the low determination masks it. And we don't know about it. That might be a thing. In U19 mentoring, Kieran Davies. That's just a random 15-year-old wingback. He is now more ambitious. His temperament has improved, and he's more adaptable. That's not. None of this is really great, but who cares? It's a shift that is acceptable. Here he is, right? Yeah. That's Ian Jones's influence. Great. Not the professionalism that I wanted, but still, that's great. Then we have a report about Simon Owen. His progress has been fine, apparently. And Bacon reports about unhappy players in the U19 again. We do. We do. Each in their own. I think to me personally, I thought about it that way for a long time. I'm not sure who said it, but one, I guess, loose quote comes to mind all the time about capitalism, in my head at least. Money and capitalism, they are like a game. And the problem in a way is everybody is forced to play it. It doesn't matter if you like it or not, if you want to play or not. You are forced to play in capitalism. Even if you decide not to play, you do play. In fact, if you decide not to play, you probably lose. So in the end, everybody plays. More or less. Yeah, I'm disappointed with the results too, by the way. Yeah, that's probably the best description I got. We can be judgmental about it all day long and talk about implications. But it's the way it works. I'm not the one to determine if this is morally right or wrong. It doesn't help. You can do flee to another saying here. But did anyone, or did humanity as a whole, always live like this? It's. I think even primates, like apes, um, they have some sort of trait-based system too with food. Let's say personal closeness, I guess, is the way to put it on stream. And they do favors to each other in that kind of framework. So, seen from that perspective, I do not necessarily think that capitalism is something that is exclusive to humans in the end. In the way we interpret it, yes. In its complexity, sure, but it sometimes it feels like most animals have some sort of thing going on there. It's part of social behavior, if you want to put it that way. And I'm not trying to defend it. It might be wrong. I don't know. What about the alpha? So, assuming the tax is, say, to have some time with a female, in that case, given their order and so on, he might take preference there. He might say, sure, you want to have that, but I'm first. I don't know. I should probably, I would need to research this. I'm not an expert on this kind of stuff. Anyway, I think it's thought-provoking to a degree. So, there's a lot of bad stuff that happens with capitalism, sure. No, they probably don't. On the other hand, yeah, they probably don't. But what's the equivalent of slavery in animals, though? I don't know. Also, it's probably not a good topic for the stream. It's not like I'm opposed to debating about this, but chances are somebody says something wrong at some point for these kinds of topics, and these are sensitive things, so it's probably not a good idea to talk about this all day long. All right. You can give him a call. So, they lost to Seven Sisters. Yeah. So, this is probably what happens, sure. We need to win. Dave Owen signed a new contract, that's great. That's all there is to it. Nobody's interested in that. Fine. So, we are looking at a D rating now. That sounded wrong. Anyway, the rating right now for our performance is the letter D. So, this is not great. We need to win this game. And if we lose, we are in a lot of trouble. We might just get fired. I think we were aware of this. We have a tactical idea. And we will put the players with the highest amount of sharpness, the highest amount of motivation. Maybe not the highest amount of sharpness, it depends. But with the highest amount of motivation and the best morale on the pitch. With the exception of those that we determined need to play, you know. And try to do our best. If that's enough, that's fine.
Thanks
if
for the follow.
Not enough, who knows? Welcome to the stream, Violet Grace. We need to get a hold of the cockpit. Oh man. Ugh, that's... Your choking is exactly the level that is fantastic, but at the same time it hurts. You must be multiple father or something. It's that choke level plus. Everybody signs a new contract for some reason. Will they all be happy with it actually? Maybe they are all happy. Findlay Coleman. My favorite player in football. Oh. 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 Let's pick an easy statement here. Because my favorite player, that's that's rather interesting. Yeah, Antoine Pouget probably. No, Antoine Pouget probably not. You will not find him online. Antoine Pouget is one of the players in this save. Not with my club anymore though. But I think from a public appearances perspective, I actually think Zlatan comes to mind. Zlatan Ibrahimovic retired, but he had hell of a career. But there's other players that come to mind that were really great. I just gotta respect the way Andrea Pirlo, for example, reinvented himself. Right? There's we can be annoyed about, for example, Robert Lewandowski and his efforts to get away from Bayern for like 10 years, or from Dortmund previously, or from wherever he played in Poland prior to joining Dortmund. We can talk about that all day. But the amount of professionalism overall of Robert Lewandowski is not to be debated. He's a sick player from a skill level, and this is due to hard work. So I certainly respect that. And obviously, but examples like Messi and Ronaldo come up all the time. You are right with that, of course. But let's say it's just a lot of discipline with these players, and they sacrifice a lot for this career, for this kind of career. So that's to be respected. If you combine that with arguably some sort of humor, at least publicly speaking, you probably get Zlatan. So I guess that's what I find funny. But that's not to say that he's like that in real life, right? My favorite team is a much harder question. So I do not determine teams specifically by their success on its own, but I'm a fan of. I always argue that I'm a fan of good management. Good management is hard to come by though, and it depends on the circumstances. So I'm from Stuttgart in Germany. One of the local rivals is SC Freiburg. That's for stretched amounts of local, but it's within Baden-Württemberg, which is the county basically in Germany there. And even though this is Baden, so not Württemberg like Stuttgart, and these are local rivals, I respect the hell out of the work that Christian Streich there did manage to get done there, together with the remainder of the staff in Freiburg. Does this make them? This doesn't make them world-beating, Champions League-beating squad. It makes them a club that is to be respected for their work given the circumstances. Because Freiburg in the Breisgau, it's not like World City, and there's no oil money there, and so on and so forth. See? So, seen from that perspective, hopefully you can understand why I do not have a big respect for example, for PSG or for Man City comes to mind every single time. Also, Manchester United probably, because there's a lot of money there, and I do respect, less money and great work despite that. So I guess there's some sense why I'm doing lower league management, right? Yeah. I love the Leicester story to a degree. But in the end, in England, there's so much money in football, it's hard to argue that Leicester had no money, right? Probably not a good example. Yeah, you two can figure that out. I do not have an opinion on Kylian Mbappe. I seriously don't. Emotes? This is this about my affiliate status or is this about something else? Um, I just didn't get to it. Also, I don't see a purpose in it, if that makes some sense. Twitch is full of some sort of emotes, and it feels like it's kind of, I don't know. I guess, would you be interested in specific emotes? Oh, there we go. So this is very simple. If you want to do it for free, which is kind of an insult, sure, why not? But if you want to get paid, this stream earned, I think $6 at this point in its entire career. So there's no money to be spent. I spent that on electricity. So thank you very much for the nice conversation, but there's like 20 of the followers do your job, and everybody wants to sell artwork. So yeah, I respect that you're trying to earn money, but I will not be the one to spend it. I will not be convinced though. This is not my job. and you're doing your part from that perspective, Mangled Cabbage, right? Like, you might not like it, but I need to get rid of the pre-roll anyway. I should be a millionaire by now. Probably not, man. Probably not. How's Gary Byrne? No, but the ads do. So yeah, let's not talk about that too much. You're not a big fan of that talk anyway. We'll play Terry Cobb, will we? Terry Cobb is still better than whatever trainer does. If I ever get to be a millionaire, it will not be by playing ads on Twitch or emotes or whatever. It would be nice if that Twitch stream would stop losing me money at some point, though. But this is just electricity bill stuff. And to be fair, I would probably play this game anyway. So thanks, but I don't know why. As I said, I'm not interested. So you are free to stick around and talk about Football Manager in the safe all day or whatever comes to mind. But yeah, I'm probably not the one to buy your artwork. I'd rather pay buy some insulating foam or something. Yeah, it's better. To be fair, it's better. Most people that try to sell artwork come into the stream and talk about artwork immediately. It's like, hi, how are you? By the way, I'm an artist. So at least you try to have some resemblance of conversation. That's great. Now, if only you do that for 8 hours, you might have a chance. But that's not worth the effort, right? So why do that? There have been way worse people on the stream coming in and talking about artwork all day, or even though, you know, until I needed to ban them because it was just so annoying. Don't be an ass, man. This will not happen. But as you're playing the game right now, Mango Cabbage. You're playing the game. This is capitalism. Oh, I think we lost him or her. For some reason, it's also always female nicknames with female pictures. I do not think all of the artists are female. Yeah, it kind of remembers me of Eve Online. Yeah, you're done. That's it. I would argue you should subscribe right now, but I don't think it's worth it. So don't do that, please. Reverse psychology. See what I did there? No. Don't do it, please. It's a waste of money. There's no artwork there. There's nothing. Flynn Murray's training rating was fine. Simon Owen's training was great. We should praise them according to this, right? Let's look through this. Do we play the Hurdy? Yes, we do play the Hurdy. Okay. Okay. We should bring along Isaac. Or Morgan Moody, really. Luca Latona trains well. What the hell? It's kind of sad we lost Sharon Allard, but he mentioned that, right? He'll probably watch it later, knowing him. Come to think of it, some madman or madwoman watched 10 hours of the stuff on YouTube on Sunday. These people seem to exist. I'm kind of confused. We will get rid of Gavin Trainer, will we? He's not doing well. Sure, be downcast, he will not play. That's not great either. Okay, let's not criticize them. It might be too much. Let's go through the conduct instead. This is fantastic. Jamie Roberts' conduct. He didn't play as a deep lying playmaker, that's bullshit. So White Tuck played in a friendly, doesn't matter much. His conduct is good. His performances on the pitch are kind of questionable. Kevin Trainer's conduct is good too. With the exception of talking to him. Talking to him seems to be dangerous. Tumulty had an assist last time out, sure. We can praise his conduct, why not? No yellow cards whatsoever. Toby Yates, no yellow cards whatsoever, good conduct, sir. Maybe you can perform in a better way on the pitch now. Adair's conduct is good too. Burn 7.8 in the last game, but also his conduct is totally fine. No problem there. By Clay, well, if you don't play, you cannot get yellow cards. So all he had to do was appear in training. Terry Cobb. One yellow card in that last game, that's fine. Sure. Nate Davies, not a single. It's not raining here. Can we get back the rain, please? Nate Davies is vice captain. Oh. The Hurdy's conduct is perfectly fine. That's great. This is not that great as a conduct. I'd rather not try to tell him that his conduct is good with 2 yellow cards. Then Murray's... That's for the last 5 games. So in the last 5 games, his conduct was okay-ish with 1 yellow card. I guess that's okay. Cole Gibbings, 2 out of 5. That's not great. Gareth Griffiths, this is fantastic as a conduct. I will do form afterwards. We will. This is good. We just have to realize that his goal scoring is okay. It's not his fault in the end. His goal scoring is fine. Isaac. Adam Jones's conduct is fine too, no problem. He also played a lot recently, didn't work out. Sam Jones does a good job. Luca Latona's conduct, yeah, we can praise that. Just 1 yellow card, no problem. Mickey Lewis didn't play, so his conduct cannot be bad. Welcome, Captain. Pablo Martinez. Corner Talker is fairly pro. He is fairly professional. I do not know about the media handling though. That's why I signed him in the first place. A 30-year-old that's fairly pro and level-headed. So some sort of professionalism as a fairly professional. I think it's 15 plus, but not higher than 17, I think. So he has good professionalism, if I'm not mistaken. You know, fairly pro. And a level-headed should imply some loyalty, I think, in these circumstances. His determination is 12. He also is a consistent performer, but doesn't enjoy big matches. So this is part of the personality too. He probably doesn't have great resistance to pressure. He does. His second nationality is Turkish. He was born in Swansea. So statistically speaking, he voted for Erdogan recently. Yeah. We will bring along Holt. As always. Your boy, Poker. Good stuff. Probably a meme saying this, but it's getting hot in here. Yeah. The wrong one though. No, not the wrong one. It's a favorite one. Oh no, this is... It's the wrong 4141 that is. For Mika Billion. Mika Billion prefers the 4141 with 2 Shadow Strikers. I took off my clothes. The collared shirt, I took it off. I'm back to this one now. This is the really shitty old EVE Online shirt that I printed myself actually. Well, I didn't do it by hand. I ordered it. I think Adam Jones can stay at home actually. Nah, let's not leave Adam Jones at home. It is. It is a true 4141. My problem with it is, it's very... we didn't have much success with it yet. But I still think that this is probably the best bet right now. Stopping crosses is probably fine too. We don't like receiving crosses. Triggering the press slightly more often is fine. Low block is okay. We're trying to go for a low block. It was. It's probably at this point it's really shitty, but you can probably still see it. Let me show you. In case, did any of you ever play EVE Online? Because otherwise it might not mean anything to you. They are. They are. These are still inverted wingers, yes. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do attack duty. That said, Muhammad Toker has... Well, Muhammad Toker's job in this situation is more that one of a defender. So he marks a specific player, and I think we want to mark that fullback out of the game. If they still set it up that way. Which they don't. So forget about that. Yeah, somewhere in here there should be a defender with really great passing. This guy, Andy Roberts. So we need a striker that can mark. That's easier though. I'm not sure if it's needed. Because, well, we could play him as a wide midfielder, sure. He's used to be an inverted winger though. Say we use him as a wide midfielder. Have a look at tactical awareness. That drops. Tactical familiarity. Defensive wingers are great, but it's much too late now. We are a few minutes prior to the game. We will play them as they are used to. Because otherwise they have no idea about the position role in duty. And that will not work out well. With, you know, it will for sure not work out well. At least to me. So I'd rather play them as it is. We bring along Adair trained well, right? To a degree at least. We bring along Adair. We need a central defender. I guess we do not need a central defender. Sam Jones could come along, but there's enough central defenders on the pitch. There's like 4 central defenders on the pitch. So if we need to make changes, all of a sudden, it will probably not be in a low block formation. You need the popcorn for afterwards though, once I get fired. Not for the match. Okay. I will try. So with play-by-play commentary, you are trying to refer to what happens on the pitch, right? I'll try. Alright, I want to bring along Luca Latona. Luca Latona trained well. Like I normally do. Okay, I'll try. Hopefully nobody else comes in and wants to sell digital artwork. At least, so far, nobody tried to sell me NFTs. So, that's a plus. I also have to scream. My girlfriend will come and hang me. Live on stream. If I scream more than I usually do. 7.4 for Nate Davies. That's not too bad. How's Burns? That's not great. Can Davies play? Davies has less tactical familiarity there. I'd rather play Davies this time out. Okay, the rest of them are more or less in a good mood. We have one thing to do though. There's one thing left. We will press the additional gamble button for everyone that has really great form or really shitty form. We'll try. So 6.94 is not great. Skipping Simon Owen. Robert, 6.84 is not great, but not bad either. Skipping him. So Vaitak's form is 6.65. We cannot criticize his form, he didn't play enough. Gavin Trainer 6.86. I will do that, mangled cabbage. I will try. It will probably sound like this. Yates with a 360 turn. Yates makes a jump. He runs. Goal! Because, I cannot do that. I might find some other voices. Maybe a Scottish dialect. I can't do a Scottish dialect. So, that will work. Yeah, fantastic. Gavin Trainer's performances haven't been that shitty, actually. Utilities, though, that's no good. So, we could criticize that if we could. Yates didn't play enough. We can criticize his development, though, can't we? Not great. High-pitched goal. I want to find players that have really bad performances and warn them about it. Chris Adair, 6.66. That's not good enough for the first team, and he played enough to be criticized. Put the arm around him. He likes that, apparently. And we tell him that he needs to play at a higher standard. Gary Byrne, 6.74. I will warn him about his recent form too. Put the arm around and tell him... Okay. That was the wrong option, I misclicked. Fuck. 7.30, that's not bad. 6.64 is bad. Not long enough with the club though. The Hurdy, that last friendly helped. Darren Evans 6.96 is good enough. Then Murray's 6.44 is really, really bad. That's not good enough for the first team for sure. I got baited into clicking the second dialogue option with Burn. I'm really annoyed. Cole Gibbings is okay, 6.78 is fine, 6.96 is fine, 6.62 is not good enough. Problem is he didn't make 5 appearances, so no use criticizing him. Adam Jones, that's no good. Sam Jones, that's fine. Luca Latona is on 6.52. It increases, but his form is not good. You need to play better if you want to stay in the first team. Yes, that's the option exactly. Mickey Lewis is 6.78, 6.74 for Martinez. Morgan Moody, 7.2. That's all down to the last friendly though. But I will not criticize him. 6.66 for Mohamed Toker. That's not good enough. He didn't make 5 appearances apparently. George Owen didn't make 5 appearances for sure. And then we're back at the start. There's 2 players named Owen, and there were 2 players named Moody, and there are 2 players named Jones. Like, in Wales, everybody is all one big family, apparently. Do we tackle harder? I didn't notice this. Yeah. Well, okay. Oh, that's our player. Sure. We will not do that. He's a great tackler. I don't care if he's suspended. That's fine. We will definitely not do this. The tackle harder though. That's a very interesting approach. So, do we have great tacklers in this squad? Probably not. But if we go to team selection, let's look at this once more. So, Alex Roberts was the one we were willing to mark tightly. That's fine. There's also Andy Roberts here. He's a really friggin' great passer. So that's really dangerous. Mark him tightly. Go him to the weaker foot. And given that this is a central defender, and given that this is also a very slow central defender, Toby Yates might just stand a chance. Mark tightly. Andy Roberts. In fact, that should probably be his primary job. Holding position. I don't know. That's probably okay. In other news, Alex Roberts is right-footed, but otherwise there's not much to tell. So we were encouraged to go with hard tackles. This means that they should, in general, they might be weak, and they might have bad dribbling. Let's see if we can find somebody, a sacrifice basically. This guy has a weak foot. Let's show him to the weaker foot. I don't want to overdo it, by the way. So this weaker foot is really easy to determine. Dribbling is 6, strength is 5. That's not bad enough to tackle him hard. He has 4 points of dribbling, 2 points of strength, 2 to 5 points of composure. He might be a case of a hard tackle. Let's see. Harry will be faced with Flynn Murray, won't he? Flynn Murray is aggressive, has decent tackling. He's not strong though. Is this a case of a hard tackle? Probably. On average, 9 points of tackling and 10 points of aggression. How's his decision making? I do not want to. His decision making is good too. So on average, we should probably be able to tackle the ball from Jordan Carey. If we can keep hold of him. So tackle him hard. Ryan Stokes, 10 points of dribbling. Definitely not a case for a hard tackle, even though he's physically weak. In fact, it's probably more of a case for easy tackling. But, you know, easy tackling is kind of dangerous. Not doing that. They didn't. They did not. I had a look at it, and the recent matches performance rating went down to D. So, they did not. Also, the press didn't want to talk to me. This is the first signs of being fired. Nobody cares anymore. His dribbling is 1-3. He's a defensive midfielder though. And his strength is somewhat okay, same as his bravery. His dribbling is probably 5, also moderately strong. He is really weak. This dribbling will probably be 4. 4 is no good. 3 points of strength. Bravery is not great. Jumping reach is not great. He has a decent pass. It's Barney Harrison. In fact, he's the better one of the 2 passers, actually. He wasn't on the pitch last time out, was he? Okay. So his vision is good though. His vision is absolute rubbish. Yeah, we keep the Versa the 8-point passing guy. We keep Alex Robert tight marked. Just due to the vision and the decision making. Well, I can't just wrap up the stream in case I'm threatened with being fired. No, they will fire me at some point if I continue losing. That's true. That will happen. So, with his composure and stuff, I want us to trigger the press on him, and I want us to tackle him. Because, physically speaking, he's really bad. And 5 to 8 points bravery with that dribbling and that strength, that doesn't look that concerning. That's good because we need a better club. I can see some sense in that argument, yes. Okay, let's look at the man marking again. Mohamed Tokar doesn't man mark anyone anymore. He man marks the central defender with the good passing. And he marks a specific player, let's see. He marks Alex Roberts. Alex Roberts is the one with a decent passing, but with good vision and good decision making. I would rather not rely on giving him the ball, so that's fine. Otherwise, do the wingers have weak feet? He does. So that's probably a thing. Is there anyone else with a weak foot? And before you tell me that we showed him to the inside, I think we show one to the inside at this point, don't we? Nah, Kerry is shown to the outside. This is great. So he needs to cross. With a whopping 2 points of crossing, that's probably not a threat. And if it is, I will just start to complain all the time. Fine. 1 to 2 points of... Ah, that's the central defender, though. Both of the central defenders have 3 points of pace. And we play Yates. Nah, he's not that fast. I will not do it. They are also rather weak. In comparison to Yates, I think. Aren't they? 6 and 6, yeah. They are rather weak. Let's go towards target man. Which reminds me, cross towards target forward. Cross towards target forward. No crossing instruction, he should cross towards target forward. Probably cross less often though. And Mohamed Toker should cross towards target forward, same as Finn Murray, as well as Doherty. True. So, no hard tackling, low block. Drop off more is fine. Stop crosses, yes. Bend it on the outside. They have shitty crossing, so we might as well stop them altogether. Roll the ball out is probably not a good idea in this situation. Throw it long is better. I do not care much what he hits, but I want to throw it long to get into counter-attacking situations. And with 8 points of long throw, he stands a chance. Slightly shorter passing because we are used to it. I realize that longer passing is probably a good idea here. On the other hand, there's not that many runners. No specific crossing instruction. There will be crosses everywhere though. Passing to space. I do not think we necessarily need this. Given the anticipation on the pitch, probably not, no. Burn has 9 points of anticipation, by the way. Yeah. Also dribble less, because we do not have great dribblers overall in the squad, and playing for set pieces. That should be it. Alright. Let's go, I guess. Squad number. Sure, Terry Cobb can have a squad number. Like, I don't know, Ollie Isaacs probably. Doesn't matter much. They are comfortable with the mentality, it's defensive. They are confident with the tactical shape for some reason. Don't tell me 4-1-4-1 is not a good shape. They do not agree with the team sheet. Well, I do. Dribbling less apparently is a good match. Shorter passing apparently is a good match. And hold up ball is a good match for Toby Yates. Sure. Because he has good technique apparently. Great. I'm friggin' nervous. Also, we play in green. Oh, fantastic. We are favorites? We are favorites. Mixed. Mixed. So, floating is not a thing. Because Yates plays. We can be for sure sure about that. Low crosses. I guess there's some sense to whip crosses, but we are talking that this is some sort of pace competition, right? And Yates's pace is 5, whilst theirs is 3 on the center backs. So this is really rock bottom level of pace competition. He is stronger though. So what does that tell us? He has decent anticipation, but if we put the crosses in with pace, probably they will not end up with anyone. So whip crosses, not a thing. which leaves us with low crosses. Low crosses are better for, I guess, smaller people who are with better off the ball movement. Is this befitting of Yates? You think we will get fired? That's what you think. I don't know if this is a case for low crosses, really. Include defense and team talk. Okay, I will blame it on you. We'll do it with the home advantage, though. It's important that we make full use of our home advantage, so let's go out there and get a result. It motivated some of the players. And the rest will probably be incredibly nervous, even though they don't show. So I will not ease the pressure, but given the recent run of results, I feel like encouragement is needed, you know, as always. And apparently that motivated them and inspired them. So, that's good. I like that. Jaronella, do you think low crosses are better given Yates is on the pitch? Would you say low crosses are a good fit there? I'm really trying to come up with an argument that says low crosses specifically. Closer to the ground. Forwards that are lacking in size but are instead quicker off the mark and can lose their defender in smaller areas of space. He is smaller in size, I guess, for a target man. And he might be quicker off the mark given his anticipation, decision making, composure and off the ball movement. Let's compare this to the opposition for a second once more. We are talking central defenders here. He has 10 points of positioning and 10 points of anticipation. Yeah, but whipped, he is also bad at running towards, I think. Because, you know, delivering them with pace for 5 points of pace, even though theirs is free, will probably not succeed. So the argument goes it's probably low. But if I look at low crosses here, his positioning and marking is not too bad. This is yeah. we will get fired though prior to that. You know what? Let's do whip crosses for the first half and see how it goes. And then let's do the other ones for the second half and see how it goes. Who cares? We might get fired, but who cares? Also, welcome back, Mika Billion. And I'm doing this for you. This is a 4-1-4-1. It's what Mika Billion would have wanted. To go down fighting. With a 4-1-4-1. With a very defensive 4-1-4-1. And a low block to shut up shop. He will be really excited about this. I'm so thankful for the inspiration. Okay, I see. This is the real 4-1-4-1 to me. It counts. Well, there's no Chinese players in the squad, so this cannot be true. Also, let this not be some sort of racist stereotype. Roberts with the first shot of the game. That's the wrong side, guys. We will encourage them there. Yeah, I should probably comment on this. Sure, Nolan expected it. So, we didn't do great defending on the left. That's what happened. Otherwise, there's not much to tell. 10 minutes into the game, nothing happened so far, with the exception of one long shot. Sure, but we know that their long shots are really crappy, so I can live with that. The Hurdy's throw in from the left, picked up by Byrne. The Hurdy's cross finds Toker, and he puts it over the goal. First header of the game. I read that. Thank you, Charon Outlet. I read it. I instructed them to go with whipped crosses. So, whipped crosses is okay. We'll try to do this. Also, I would encourage the team. Feels viable here. Oh. Gary's free kick. And the header goes towards Owen. Not a problem for the goalkeeper. Safe catch. We do not seem to create much. Let's see. Free kick taken by Byrne. Gibbings with the header, and sadly their goalkeeper is still on the pitch. We'll try to demand more now. This is highly delayed down here. We get a corner, taken by Mohamed Toker. Yates doesn't manage to win the header, as expected. In fact, let's look at the end of the scene though. Seems like that corner doesn't go well for us. Mohamed Toker wins back the ball. Great play. Griffiths. Alright. Come to think of corner taking. We are doing set pieces, corners towards the near post. But in these circumstances, Toby Yates is there, and Toby Yates is not a great jumper. We should probably switch those. So Toby Yates will be at the far post, and I will take the central defenders here. Because they are better jumpers. Preferably him. And on the left side, we will do the same. Yeah, Toker did well there. Again, for Charon Outlet, who might just be listening and not watching right now, I changed the setup for not taking corners, but the target player. The one to be targeted. And switched it to the central defenders because Yates is not a great jumper. He's a great header though. Demand more seems to have worked a little better. Carey with the ball on the outside. Owen finds a nice passing opportunity for their striker, who was forced to finish on his weaker foot, and that's lucky for us. So far, we give away a lot of free kicks though. Cornell's free kick over the goal. We gave away, that's 4 fouls only, but they were all close to the goal. They were all close to goal. Which is probably because we play a low block. How is tactical familiarity once we push up a little higher? If we do a mid block, triggering a press is entirely unfamiliar to them. If we trigger the press even more often, that's fine with them. Let's trigger the press even more often. And let's hope that we win the ball from time to time. So that might push it out a little bit. Owen's long ball, he doesn't find Yates. Byrne wins the ball. With a hard tackle from Brownell. Plays the ball back towards Flynn Murray. Long ball by Flynn Murray, and that will end up with the goalkeeper. Yeah, not great. Goalkeeper's named Jones, by the way. Roberts, Brownell, long ball by Brownell. Gibbings intercepts that one. No big deal. Flynn Murray. Who was that? Byrne. Mohamed Toker. Mohamed Toker finds a nice pass towards Yates, who runs. He's driven off by the defense there. He's in the penalty area, at the edge of it. With a cross towards Kopp. With a volley. Over the goal though. This is a shitty game. I'm happy with it. we should create more chances though. Anyone's got any ideas without sacrificing defense? We faced 4 shots. And half of those were, I think, we are dominating the tackling department. Do we want to risk it? So, they are physically weak. This doesn't do anything about tactical familiarity. It does a little bit. Oh, it reduces marking quite a bit if we tackle hard. There's no early crosses. The crosses from deep are only played by the wingbacks. It's not like everybody does early crosses. In fact, there's barely any. I said I would change the crossing there from whip crosses to low crosses. Let's try the low ones in the second half. Let's go to the dressing room. And we will tell them that... Yeah, but these are the best crosses we have right now in the squad. So, if we want to push them up higher, which we could, we would lose the formation. And defensively speaking, I don't think this doesn't work. That's too many negations though. I think defensively for now, in the first half, you know how this stuff goes. For the first half it worked, defensively. We faced 4 shots. Expected goals wise, really low. So, from that perspective, it's probably okay. If we push up the wingbacks, I fear we might suffer from at the hands of the wingers. Yeah, here might come the pounding, or, you know, in either direction. I don't think they were bad though. That's fine, performance-wise. But we need to be better in front of the goal. So, I will tell them. Flynn Murray is stressed. So, now I will... First of all, I will tell Flynn Murray he's been fine. 6.7 isn't great. But... You have been unlucky so far, good effort? That's okay. Now he's happy. That's great. I will not comment on that. I think this is tagged as, you know, adult. But Twitch is very restrictive with that kind of stuff. Apparently, human reproduction is not something to be shown on the internet. Well, Darren Evans could do with an improvement. I'd rather not rely on beating him down too much though. Most of them are fired up or very motivated. Pablo Martinez is on a 6.9 rating, by the way, in an unfamiliar role in central midfield. So whatever he does, it works. Doherty could do with an improvement too. It's hard. I'll keep it as it is. Because they are motivated. In fact, they are fired up. Yeah, let's hope. And you know what they say? Hope is the first step on the road to disappointment. I think that's derived from Warhammer 40k, if I'm not mistaken. What a throw in. Picked up by Yates. Yates finds Cobb. Cobb's shot. Oh, saved by Jones. Oh, what a save! With one hand. And he needed to pick up the ball later on. That was a great shot by Cobb, by the way. No complaints. Free kick by Harrison. Will we be able to defend this? Yeah, at least it seems that way for now. Picked up by Carey. Who finds Harrison out on the wing. No marker. Closed down by Flynn Murray. Good job. Owen with a kick from deep finds Thomas and Harrison. Apparently there was no offside. But we can live with that. Not a great chance. Minute 60 now. Is there something that we want to change? So we do not have a central defender on a pitch, on the bench, but Griffiths is on a yellow card. We want to risk it? I think we want to risk it. Given the amount of dribbling that they have, we can probably risk it. Let's look at this stuff here. That's 2 wingers, a poacher, central midfielder, box-to-box midfielder, and Brownell. None of these are really tired. Yeah, I was just looking at it. Rob Thomas is more or less average, but he's not really threatening crossing from deep. Same with Owen. Adam Owen is not a great crosser, and neither is he a great dribbler. He's not that fast in his role as a defender. So overall, I think we can be okay with this. It's just down to the goalkeeper. We are also missing somebody that pushes up in the middle of the pitch. Because in some of the goal scoring situations here, it was Cobb and there was nobody else around to get a better finish. So maybe we want to commit a bit forward, just a tiny bit. Does Cobb know how to play on attack duty? He does. Not much of a difference to him. And his mentals at least say that he might be able to do this. Mohamed Toker, on the other hand, he's not instructed to mark somebody. I thought so. But in midfield, we are trying to defend against a good passer. And so far, it seems to have worked. On the wings, they are not that threatening on the wings. So it seems like we should probably exploit the wings more than midfield. I'm willing to do this. No, I'm not willing to do this. Let's put Mohamed Toker on attack duty 2. Put him on attack duty 2. Let him push up a little bit more. That reduces his familiarity a little bit. But same here, Mohamed Toker he somewhat has the mentals. And he's faced with, let's look at their fullbacks again. So Mohamed Toker is faced with Owen. Owen is not that fast. Good positioning though. Let's try to exhaust him a little bit more. And then there's Rob Thomas here. Rob Thomas has good acceleration, but not great pace. Good positioning though. We know that Cobb has decent pace. Not that great acceleration though. Toby Yates is kind of he's not fit anymore. His condition is fair. So the assessment that we might need Alex Holt is not that bad. I think I agree with this. there anyone else? Luca Latona is in really great morale. I wouldn't want to pull one of the defenders. So at some point, we might get Martinez off the pitch or put him back into central defense and pull Griffiths. Oh, it's Griffiths that is on a yellow card, by the way. He should probably ease off tackles. I thought it was Gibbings. Gibbings can tackle harder, right? Gibbings is the one with the good tackle. No, just wing back. No, I'm thinking Morgan Moody. The problem is Morgan Moody is friggin' fast, right? So, to play through Morgan Moody on the... Why should I bring Holt? Let me have a look at one thing. What happens if we bring Morgan Moody? As a striker. You know? It's his core position after all. I cannot see the technical familiarity right now for some reason. Can I look at this here? No. He's probably entirely unused to playing that role at this point. That's it. He can dribble. And he can run past them. That's for sure. They have 2 defenders on the pitch with 3 points of pace. We should have done this in the first place, probably. So I will not bring Holt. Because 14 points of jumping reach and 14 points of jumping reach, they do seem like Holt might have a problem with that. We might, but this is not good advice. Good advice is to try something different. Low crosses are fine with Moody. He has... The anticipation isn't that fantastic, but the off-the-ball movement is good. I trust him to do this. In fact, I want to pass into space. And I still want to cross towards... I guess this is not a target forward anymore. So, we cross towards center. I think that's it. Same here. We cross towards center. We cross towards center. Did I mention that we cross towards center? It's a bit of a difficult decision though, because their crossing might also end up with one of the wingers, which are not specifically in the center. But I think Moody might stand a chance to get through this. I trust him to do this. Cool. In other news, Byrne has a decent game, Mohamed Turko has a decent game, Terry Cobb has not that bad of a game. Darren Evans could do with some improvement, but overall I'm fine with this. Moody can score the winner. Moody was the one with great resistance to pressure too, right? I cannot look at it right now. I think he was the one with good resistance to pressure. Demanding team talk. Now let's see if we can get another counterattack. Thomas with a long ball towards the other Thomas, intercepted by Gibbings. Cobb defense, but it ends up with Roberts. Thomas, Roberts. He should be man-marked by Martinez. That's a cross from deep, and it ends up with Thomas, and it's in the back of the net. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh. So much for bringing on Moody. We conceded with a ball from deep. That's Thomas Cross. Let's have a look at Thomas. Rob Thomas has 6 points of crossing, probably. 6 points of technique. His mentals are okay-ish, sure. And the other one, this Thomas up front, they are both called Thomas. Ewan Thomas. Yeah, that's the poacher. So we knew that he was dangerous. This is why we played the low block in the first place. Should have been intercepted by one of the central defenders. Stoker, Byrne, Evans. Evans long ball towards Moody. That's intercepted and Cobb with a long shot. Okay. So I guess we change tactics. Because that stuff with Moody might have worked, but now it's too late. We'll do the other thing, and we'll go attacking. 66 minutes into the game. We bring Martinez to the back, to his center back position. Griffiths can come off, Adam Jones can come on, Moody can take the position of Poker, and we will bring Hold on. Also Latona. And then we keep one substitute. Let's go all in with this, we cannot lose. Adam Jones doesn't cope well. These probably don't cope well with expectation. Adam Jones, though, as a perfectionist, he might. He doesn't. They are happy with it. Alright. Let's see. Really unlucky. Byrne with a free kick. Byrne's free kick hits the target. Equalizer. Direct free kick from the edge of the penalty area. So that settles that stuff. Now we just gotta push on. I will not change it back. We do not have the personnel on the pitch to play the other tactic anymore. Nice free kick by Byrne. Great stuff. That was really needed. Oh, I should have said goal. Somebody expected me to say goal! I hope that counts. Should probably learn this. I can also do it in German. Tor! Doesn't matter though. I probably need an approximate 2 more liters of pure alcohol to be like this. And we will not have that, because alcohol is bad. This is the alcohol-free stream. Roberts, Brunel, Owen, he's on a yellow card. Let's have a look at the tablet. Stokes is complacent, it seems. Thomas has a good game. Owen has a bad game. Owen is the one that is faced with Moody right now. Adam Owen is not that fast. Play down the right. They are still slow. Play down the right and pass into space. So it might end up in the middle, but who cares? They still have the slow central defenders on the pitch and we have Holt. Holt is not fast, but he's fresh. So 2 points of difference might make the difference. Thomas with a finish now. Gibbings blocks the finish. Moody picks up the ball and that's not a highlight anymore. Latona, Evans. Short simple pass towards Jones. Oh, Mr. Roberts got hurt. What a pity, isn't it? Evans puts the ball into touch. Who will come on for Roberts? Some guy named Davies? Yeah, some guy named Davies. Alright, let's have a look at your position instructions. In fact, they substituted 2 people. So the entire central midfield got substituted. Jordan Davies is weak. There's not a single yellow card in our team right now. Let's kick him. He's also a decent passer. So this is a case of a tight mark, probably. Because off the ball movement isn't that great. If only we had somebody on the pitch that could do that. And his passing is bad. His dribbling is okay though, Jack Rimmer. So I guess we close him down. Does he have a weak foot? Yes, he does have a weak foot, the right one. So let's show him to the weaker one. What's the instruction here? Never to trigger the press on Rob Thomas. Yeah, well, last time out we didn't do that. He had an assist. So I'm not excited by this. And Ian Thomas, it says we should tight mark. Given the off-the-ball movement and that great anticipation and so on, maybe tight marking is not a bad idea. Let's trust Sam Jones after all. He's great as an assistant manager, right? Pop on the wing, puts the pass back towards Latona. Evans, Burn. Latona finds a cross. Oh, it's a low cross. It was offside apparently. It also looked like a penalty at the same time. To me at least. The players, do they need encouragement or do they need to be... Fuck that. Demand more. I want to see more. Tight marked by Gibbings. Great stuff. That worked. Long ball again. This might be offside. Latona intercepts the ball. Evans. Pass towards Kopp. It's intercepted. Brownell. Rimmer. And that's ball from deep. Picked up by Martinez. So much. So good. Moody. That header ended up in midfield with Rimmer, who plays a penetrating pass for Thomas. Thomas close to the goal. Owen saves. We got lucky. Still have one substitute on the bench. It's Nate Davies. Or I dare. You know what? Keep it. Who cares? Lynn Murray. Also, I wanted to do additional pressing. Let's trigger the press really often. There's another counter-attacking situation now. Carey on the wing. Who's this? Martinez. Trying to defend. Martinez is... Carey dribbles past Martinez. Lynn Murray. Nice tackle in the penalty area. We gave away a corner. Davies. Owen picks up the ball. Does he find a long kick? He doesn't. Lynn Murray intercepts that one. Pass back to Owen. Gibbings. There's so much space here. Please take a short pass. Evans. Burn. Moody. Moody with a cross from deep towards Jones. Jones out on his own. Ah, fuck! He was saved by the goalkeeper. That would have been the day to score for Adam Jones. Yeah, you are right. I'm a bit late with that though. Get stuck in is definitely a thing, and prevent... well, the short distribution doesn't hurt us, but sure. Moody. Lynn Murray. That might be intercepted by Martinez, it is. Burn. He doesn't knock off another long shot. Not this time. Latona. Flynn Murray. Out on his wing. Please don't do some bullshit, Flynn Murray. Nice pass towards Byrne. Martinez. Martinez with a ball from deep. Another ball towards Jones. Evans. Evans with the long shot. It's over. Five minutes to go. 2 minutes to go. Yeah. Byrne with a free kick from wide areas. Picked up by Moody. Gibbings. Passes it back to Flynn Murray. He finds Jones. Jones lobs it into goal. It counts. 2 minutes. We have to deal with 2 minutes. That's as crappy as it gets. We have to deal with 2 minutes. We pull back Byrne. Well, we pull back Jones. He can play as a Metzala now. Yep. There it is. It's a goal. And in possession, we will waste all the time we can have. That should do. That should do. It's the 4-1-4-1 magic. Adam Jones. Be more disciplined. I'm not sure if that's not on by default. Give me a second. Where is it? Yeah, be more disciplined. Where you can put that on, sure. And now I will praise them. If we get a chance to have another comment, that is. Ivan Thomas intercepted by Byrne. Great stuff. Kopp. Kopp loses the ball, wins back the ball. Latona. We will find another counter-attacking opportunity. No, we don't. Davies. Thomas. Davies. Good pass towards Rimmer. And that's intercepted by Gibbings, who tight-marked their striker, Jones. Is there anyone new on the pitch? Doesn't seem like it. Wilcox is new. For 45 seconds, I will look into Wilcox now. Craig Wilcox. He's fast, and otherwise he's shit. What's with the off-the-ball movement? No, he's really bad. He's fast and that's it. Jones, Martinez. Please don't do any bullshit. Pass it back to the keeper. We don't care. Martinez. That's not back to the keeper. 30 seconds. Owen on his yellow card with yet another long ball. Not a problem this time. Oh, he finds Rimmer out on the wing. That's a bad cross. Byrne, Flynn Murray, and he just hoofs it. Holt. Well, 15 seconds to go. That's probably offside, Mr. Wilcox. Like, we can probably put some plants between that. Grow something there. Owen. That might have been offside too. Doesn't matter though. Martinez intercepts. Carry. And Flynn Murray gives away a foul. 13 seconds over stoppage time. Gets the second yellow card for our team in this game. We face one last free kick. Owen is out of his goal. Header. Owen's got it. He's got it. He's got the ball. That should be it. Long kick. Kopp doesn't manage to get at the end of this. We face another long ball. That's it. Game's over. We get the win. What a scrappy one that was. But we get the win. It's a plus. What a big one. That moves us straight out of the relegation zone, which might not be enough to appease the board. On the other hand, one more win and we are in mid-table. So it's something. Next time out, we will, first of all, we will play the friendly. So that's good. Whew. Let's praise him for the training, and then go to the press conference. We just won. I thought we were never able to do that anymore. I'm very delighted, yes. I think we deserved it. That was good. So we ended a run of 5 games without a victory. That was basically the entire season, more or less, with the exception of one. I think the first league game. No, the second league game. That we won that one. I'm really relieved by that, but I wouldn't say we take it for granted moving forward. Who the hell is John Watson? I do not know of this player. Probably, yes. So, Terry Cobb was not great today, but I guess he was fine. If he would be a natural there, he would probably be way better. No. He's a winger. How pleased am I that Mickey Lewis has signed a new contract. Yeah, he's good to have around the club, I guess. And the same question with Simon. Well, Simon Owen is really important to our squad, though. Okay. We got it. So, next time is a friendly. I will talk to the players about their performances at the next stream. I think we got what we wanted. The stream has been going on for 3.5 hours now. I think that's fine. I will not be able to do another match, even if it's just a friendly. So maybe I'll do the friendly throughout the week. Yeah, the next regular stream should be on Friday at 6 p.m. GMT +2. Thank you all very much for watching. Thanks for keeping me company. Thanks for suffering through this with me. And whoever the madman is that watched 10 hours of our stream on YouTube, thank you too. So we will see each other later. Have a nice evening and a good remainder of the week. Until next time.